The world is facing a problem, and that problem is obesity. Obesity is a fairly new problem, considering that statistics for it did not exist 50 years ago. According to the World Health Organization, in 2005, 1.6 billion people worldwide were overweight and 400 million were obese. This is quite a staggering sum, and even more frightful is the end result. The study concluded that by 2015, 2.3 billion people will be overweight and 700 million will be obese. What is the solution for this disease? Many will say that a diet is the only thing you need. According to a study done by Businessweek, Americans are already spending $40 billion a year on dieting, and they are still growing more and more overweight each year. So we can safely assume that dieting is not the whole solution, though it is part of the solution nonetheless. The solution is a healthy lifestyle. Caldwell Esselstyn, MD, is a leading expert in the field of staying healthy, and he said this when he was asked how it was possible that there are regions in the world where heart disease is fairly unknown.
When you look globally, there are still cultures on this planet where heart disease is virtually unknown. If you look at the rural Chinese, the Papua Highlanders in New Guinea, Central Africa, and the Tarahumara Indians in northern Mexico, if you're a heart surgeon and you go to these territories expecting to earn a living, forget it. You better plan on selling pencils, because there isn't any heart disease there, and it's largely and entirely because they, by culture, heritage, and tradition, they consume a type of plant-based nutrition that does not contain any of what we call the atherosclerotic linchpins, that is to say, none of those foods that are implicated in the causation of this disease, which are processed oils, dairy, and meat, whether it's a piece of lamb chop or pork, steak, dairy products, or oils. It's very interesting that when you look at, by way of contrast, this country, by age 12, our children begin to have thickening of those major carotid arteries which go to our brain. And if they live until they're age 20 and they happen to die in combat, as was known in Korea and in Vietnam 40 and 50 years ago, when you look at their arteries, you can find, even without a microscope, that roughly 80% of these young GIs already have gross evidence of coronary artery disease, and you might feel that that was due to the military experience being the stress. However, if we now look at something more recent, not 40 or 50 years ago, but in 1999, in a study that was done of those who happened to die of accidents, homicides, and suicides between the ages of 16 and 34, when you carefully look at their arteries to their heart, the disease has now become ubiquitous. It's there in everybody.
A healthy lifestyle constitutes of eating a healthy diet that is following the specification of the food pyramid and doing a normal amount of sport. Now, if you're an athlete, you need a diet with a high energy intake so your system can cope with the activity. The highest energy diet you can have is one that has a high intake of protein. If any average human eats such a diet, they will probably grow fat. So every person needs a specific diet and a specific physical activity. Everybody is different and as such needs a different lifestyle. Not a single diet is good for every single person, because each and every organism has a different trait. The best thing you can do to get a high energy diet and an exercise routine is to go make an appointment with your nutritionist. Do not follow the examples of magazines and such, because they can be harmful for your body. Now you know how to have a healthy lifestyle. So now, go out and enjoy life.